Word on the street is that bartering is back. Now, you may think that you know all about what bartering is and what it isn't. And in a traditional sense, you probably do. But there's something new that has hit the marketplace over the last few years, and it is single handedly transforming the way businesses, entrepreneurs, and everyday people are able to exchange goods and services independent of traditional currency. That said, we're back for another edition of Ask Me How I Know with Danielle the Coach. I'm Danielle, known socially as Danielle the Coach. I'm a former FBI analyst turned serial entrepreneur, and I've made it my business, pun intended, to help six-figure earners put their corporate exit strategy in motion and pivot out of their well-paying career without regret. I'm also an Amazon best-selling author of The Six-Figure Quitter, The Entrepreneur's Guide to Transitioning Out of Your 9 to 5 Without Regret. Today's guest, Nicole Murphy, a Washington, D.C. based entrepreneur and founder and CEO of Barter Black, the 2025 Best of the DMV tech company. Um, the Best of the DMV, Best Black tech company. Through Barter Black, Nicole is reshaping how Black entrepreneurs access support, build teams, and grow sustainable businesses using trade credits, which is a very unique feature of her platform, based trade credit based collaboration. Her work has been featured in Black Enterprise, Voyage Baltimore, and Rap Snacks, and she remains deeply committed to advancing innovation, community economics, and long term success for Black owned businesses. At this point, there's nothing left for me to ask Nicole exactly how she knows that bartering is back and is here to stay. If you are here with us live, do me a favor and light up the chat with a hey, Nicole, and give her a warm Ask Me How I Know with Danielle, the coach. Welcome. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you for having me. It's so
Um,
weird to hear people talk about me.
I love it. I love it. It feels like we had this conference to set this up, initial conversation forever ago. And it seemed like, oh, we got some time. We got some time. It's a little ways out now. And then now all of a sudden it's like time just
Yeah,
flew, and
it
here we are.
did.
But I'm a fan. You know, I'm a fan of Nicole Murphy and Barter Black. So I am delighted to have you here. I'm honored to have you on the platform, and I'm most excited about introducing you and what you have going on, you and Barter Black, to people who, as of 2 seconds ago, didn't even know you or Barter Black existed,
Yep.
or maybe to give a deeper understanding of what Barter Black is. Maybe they've heard the buzz, maybe they've seen me talking and posting and emailing about it, and they can understand better what it's about from the person that actually had the divine download and the courage to actually bring this thing to life. So I'm excited about diving in. So first things first, right? You're the face of Barter Black. If you ask anybody, you can't say Barter Black without Nicole Murphy. You can't say Nicole Murphy without Barter Black, and that's a good thing,
Yeah.
right? But before we get into the platform and the inner workings of it, I want to get to know the person. What are three things that most people might not know about Nicole, the human
Mm.
being behind the brand?
Oh, wow. So it's interesting because I am fulfilled with work and being a mom, first of all. But I'm very introverted, which people probably do not even realize because my face is all over the place at this point. But I realize that I have to show up if, I want people to get to know me, that know, like, trust factor. Um, I love crafting, even though I haven't done it in a while, but I love creating things. I'm very creative and I love naps. I'm a napper.
I gotta tell you, today the weather has been it's been weird. Like
Mhm.
it felt good. It's summertime. It felt Felt good, wasn't too hot, a little overcast. So I think we had some protection from the rays today. But then all of a sudden it got a little like dreary, started raining. And for the life of me, I do not like to take naps when I have something waiting for me later in the day because I'm just scared I might oversleep, right? But it was one of those feelings today where if I didn't take a nap, it wasn't going to be good for anybody, right? So I just gave in and I took a nap. And I feel refreshed. So I completely understand.
Yep.
So we're gonna do a little something different. We're gonna play a rapid fire word association game real quick.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say a word or phrase, and I want you to respond with the first word that comes to mind.
Okay.
No
I'm
judging, just
nervous.
first word. First word is pivot,
Barter Black.
entrepreneurship,
Hard.
DC,
Home.
motherhood,
Hard.
pop up,
Oh, that was hard. That one was hard. If I would, you said firstly, I didn't have any think of something first. New.
barter.
I w- that word is so like I'm so tied to that word. Um, growth.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. You're such a good sport. Thank you for playing along. So it's been said that if it doesn't make sense, if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense. But Barter Black kind of turns that on its head. So let's start there. What exactly is Barter Black? How does it work? What makes it fundamentally different from what most people think bartering is? And break it down for someone who has absolutely no idea.
Okay. So I say this all the time, so I know I have to slow it down a little bit because in my head I'm saying everything I need to say. But Barter Black is a bartering platform for Black entrepreneurs, a bartering platform and community for Black entrepreneurs to exchange products and services with each other. But I know when people hear of barter, they think of the direct exchanges. You and I come together and exchange at the same time for the same value. We started out that way. We had to pivot. That's why I said barter, black, and pivot go together. We had to pivot and change our model so that it made it more flexible for entrepreneurs to barter. So that's when we integrated trade credits called barter bucks into our platform. So if you think of any type of freelancer platform, is similar to Barter Black, where you list your products and services for sale in exchange for barter bucks. So that is the barter. You're exchanging product or service for barter bucks. When you sell that product or service for barter bucks, you earn those barter bucks and then you're able to spend them with anyone in the network. So when most people barter, they have to find that direct match, right? When they're doing the
Mhm.
one to one. So we've created a space where you can just sell the value of your products and services, whatever that value is, and then you use it wherever you want, whether it's branding, marketing, legal support, influencer marketing, like I did here. But pricing, one thing that I know people have a lot of questions on is pricing. How do I price my products and services on the platform? It's one to one. So whatever you charge off the Barter Black platform, you're going to charge on the Barter Black platform. So if you charge 500 for this service, you're going to charge 500 barter bucks for the service on Barter Black.
I don't think it gets any more plain,
I
any more
hope.
plain than that, right? So the Barter Black that we know today is actually version 2.0. What happened to 1.0 and what improved?
Well, it's so interesting because I'm going through this journey right now on social media leading up to the Barter Bucks anniversary, but I'm reflecting on how it all started and where we started from. And the first version was a direct exchange model. Business owners were listing what they needed, and then other members would say, "Hey, I can do that for you." But if anyone has ever been a member or been in my circle, you know I am huge on customer discovery. And we do it every quarter on the Barter Black platform. So when we did customer discovery back then, we actually learned that the direct exchanges were not working. So you may be able to help me with what I have, but you may not want what I have. So, well, let me say that differently. You may be able to help me with what I need, but you may not want what I had. So it created a situation where businesses actually did not barter. And that's when we had to decide, okay, this is not working. Let's go back to the drawing board and actually try to rebuild Barter Black the way it should be rebuilt. And with that, in I think March 2024, we decided to shut everything down. Um, and we took to the community. How can you help us rebuild this in a way that it needs to be rebuilt? The plan was to integrate trade credits, the barter bucks into the platform to make bartering a little bit more accessible. So we did that. And then in August 2024, we actually relaunched, we pivoted, we relaunched with barter bucks. And it's been 2 years so far. We're 54,000 barter bucks in, and it's so interesting because this year alone we've exchanged over 36,000 barter bucks. So I'm excited. Like each year it's growing. So it's telling me and showing me and everyone else that it's actually working.
Yes, indeed. Yes, it's working. I'm living proof that it's working. I am proof that it's working. So before Barter Black, what were you up to professionally? Like what career path were you on? What did that chapter look like? And what was the catalyst that made you pivot into tech?
So I feel like my whole career has been a pivot. It's just been ups and downs and arounds and turns. So interestingly, we're in 2026. 12 years ago, I was fired from my job. And like it was just a not healthy situation. So even though I was hurt, it was what I needed. And I feel like in life, we sometimes stay in places where we shouldn't stay, and something forces us out of that situation. So I've done so many things. But before Barter Black, I had a successful short-term property management company in the DMV area where we clean and
Mhm.
manage Airbnb properties. And that was very successful. 2020, I think it was New York Times named DC the best vacation spot, and then COVID hit. It was like, really? Like, I'm doing so well right now. Um, but I saw how other entrepreneurs were struggling during the pandemic. You know, we struggle anyway. So something like a pandemic, we're just not prepared for. And that is how Barter Black was birthed. We have so many skills, so much expertise. And I asked myself, why aren't we actually helping each other grow and scale these businesses with the skills and expertise that we have? So that's how Barter Black was birthed.
You know, that pandemic, I tell you, if you got one pandemic story, you got 25 of them. And then it's also when it comes to like pivoting. The
Hmm.
If you were able to pivot, sometimes some of us didn't have a choice but to pivot, right?
Right.
And that might be a whole nother episode, like the pandemic pivot.
Baby.
I might have to coin that because there was nothing like it. But yeah, I feel you 1,000,000% on
Yeah, it was a gift and a curse, I think, because I loved what I was doing. But again, things point you in a different direction that you're
yeah,
going in. So, and I listen to those things, even though I'm like, I want to do this, but no, it's
yeah.
pushing me in this way. So let's just go for it. I'm gonna go with the flow.
That's wisdom right there. Let's talk a little bit about that right there though. That inner voice, the inner knowing that offers us dissonance from what we want to do.
Yeah.
What has that been like for you?
It's been, in the beginning, I think it's hard. But once you realize, because I'm big on when things don't go my way, I go back and look how it was set up for me to get where I am now. Um, and I know that Barter Black would not have existed if it wasn't for the pandemic.
Oh,
It it would not existed the Nicole's version at all, because I was happy where I was. I was doing fine. But it kind of forced me out of that situation to come up with something else, that pivot.
yeah.
But as you know, years have gone, and you know, these last few years have not been easy at all. It's been a
Hmm.
journey, but I have to get comfortable with the uncomfortable and
Hmm.
realize that every no, every closed door is just a redirection into where I need to be. So I don't fight it. At this point, I just, whatever I feel like I need and I don't get it, I'm like, okay, there's a reason for this.
Listen, I swear I was telling somebody the other day, I feel like this is, I think it was on my master class last night, matter of fact. And I was like, I feel like this has been the season of rejection for me. And
Mm,
it's weird because outside looking in, it's just like, oh, she was just in essence. You know what I mean? But do you know how many no's I've gotten this year? It
yep,
has been insane.
yep.
And I was telling them last night, I said, there was a season for me as an entrepreneur where the no's would have like kind of had me showing up not as powerful as I really want to, as
Hmm.
I know I can, right? I would have
Yeah,
taken it personal. But these no's in 2026, I said, oh, okay, I got something for that, right? I didn't have
right.
a word coming into 2026, but mid-year, the word is undeniable. They told me no, that means I'm not undeniable. I got some work to do.
That part.
I'll be back,
Yep.
right? And so that's like really been like my energy. It's been like, oh, okay. Oh, word?
Oh,
Say
okay.
less.
Really? Yep. Okay. I
Say
still get them
less.
too. I'm like, oh, all
Yeah.
right, all right.
They sting. They do sting, especially when it's the things that you really want. If it's something that
Yeah,
you're just doing just because, who cares?
yeah,
But like, and I feel like we kind of had this in common. Like we think big, we dream big, we do what we do, hard or not. And so the things that we really want, right? When we
yeah.
get those no's, it's like, oh, okay, you put baby in the corner. Got it. Right. Got it. So I completely understand. Now, I know you gave us a little insight early on, right, into like some facets of you that most people may not really may not know. But I want to kind of go back in that vein for a second. So you're a mom, you're a daughter, I think you're a sister, friend, tech founder, CEO, innovator,
Mm.
visionary, patent holder. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Patent holder, to name a few. So what has surprised you the most when it comes to managing and juggling all of that responsibility?
Wow. Um, I guess that I created all of this and I'm a part of all of this and I love being a part of all of this, but just the balance of it all. It's like
Mhm.
in the beginning when I had the Airbnb management company, the balance, it was not there at all. It was strictly
Mm.
work. I would miss important functions with the family and all of those things. But coming into Barter Black, with the experience before and just things I've learned, um surprisingly I've learned how to balance it all, and I've learned how to rest. Even though I love taking my naps, but I also, my rest is closing this laptop and,
Mhm.
you know, not thinking about work, because one thing I've learned is that rest, you know, it helps you perform better,
Yeah.
even though, you know, we're stuck on, oh my goodness, I need to get this done, blah blah blah.
Yep.
Rest. So I would say balancing it all, but also making sure that I take the time to actually rest. was surprised because I'm definitely a workaholic. So finding my groove was surprising, but also it's helpful for me to grow the Barter Black the way I want to.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to balance, because that's something I don't think that conversation will ever go away, especially for people that are entrepreneurs, budding entrepreneurs, seasoned
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. It's just like it's always something, right? And if
Hmm.
it's not the business, it's on the personal. If it's not
Yeah.
personal, it's business. And in the best seasons of them all, everything seems like it's going to hell in a handbasket, right? So when it for you, like the balance piece, was there something in particular that like a switch that flipped where you feel like, oh my gosh, I got a handle on it now? Like what happened in that season?
Yeah, I think it's so interesting. It was more than a few years ago. And I think I've done it one time before, but I had a coach, and she had us fast. And I've
Mm.
never done that before. Anybody that knows me knows I love to eat. I'm all in. So fasting actually helped because it gave me the insight that I wasn't thinking about all those things. Nicole, you need to rest. Nicole, it can wait till tomorrow. Nicole, you need to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Family is more important than anything, so make sure you focus on that. So I think I would probably say was the thing that okay,
Wow.
it can wait till tomorrow.
It could all be so simple, like our girl Lauren said, right? It could all be so simple, but putting that fork down at times it can be hard. I get it. I'm a foodie too. I completely get it. Now we cannot have this conversation without talking about what's happening in the country right now when it comes to DEI, right? The attacks on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Black businesses are navigating an environment that feels increasingly hostile. Black women are being forced out of the workplace in insurmountable, record breaking numbers in this season within like the last year and a half. So, against that backdrop, why is Barter Black not just relevant, but necessary right now? And how are you personally navigating building a Black focused platform in this climate?
That's so interesting because so we've been, of course, building Barter Black since 2020 during the pandemic. We didn't actually launch until 2022. Um, and it's that question is interesting to me because we were building before DEI was an issue. It's an issue now. So um when I think about building a platform in a community for Black entrepreneurs and the attack on DEI, I honestly there are a few things that come to mind. One, if DEI, is an issue. And I know I heard a lot of organizations and things say they can't get funding anymore because of those United States when it comes to Black entrepreneurship and employer operated businesses, that Black owned businesses account for less than 3% of employer operated businesses compared to over 82% of white owned businesses. So we're already starting, you know, at the bottom. We really don't have sustainable businesses that we can grow and scale, um, but we're used to going without. So when these things happen, for
Mhm.
me, I just keep on moving. I I see you now. I see how you operate now, but I'm going to continue the mission that I started and building the community that I want to build because we are better together. And it's not just something just to say, but it's an action that we have to continue to act upon, even when we aren't being verbally attacked because we're Black, you know? Um,
Mhm.
so for me, the issues I know they exist, but I try to stay in my lane and continue to move forward and not let that bother me, because I know. And when we think about funding for Black entrepreneurs too, when we get less than 1% of venture capital funding, that means that we're not getting the funding anyway. So we have to come up with ways that we can grow and scale without the support of the others.
And I think something that, so when I worked for the FBI, one of my favorite seasons in my career was actually working in their diversity and inclusion office
Mm,
section, and helping to advance that mission. And before going to that office, I didn't even know that we had a diversity and inclusion, office and whatever. And so I was able to transfer over to that particular department and help advance the mission of diversity and inclusion in the FBI. And so I spent about 4.5 years learning the inner workings of, the rules, the regs, all the things, and also leveraging my creativity to create programming and a more inclusive and diverse workplace,
mm-hmm.
because that was my day job, right? And I absolutely loved that work. And so I feel like I have a heightened sensitivity to a lot of this just because I was so close to it for so far. But I think something that is lost on people, or they just don't understand because they haven't had to wear the shoe
Yeah.
and walk a whole life in it, not just miles, a whole life in it.
Mm-hmm.
But they lose sight of the fact that a lot of these spaces that are created with specific targeted audiences in mind are because we were never welcome in other spaces anyway.
Anyway,
So it was one thing, well, let me create something over here and let me message it and market it in a way so that we know that this is a safe space
yeah,
and this kind of person is welcome. And so while there are some that cry, oh, this is discriminatory, this is exclusive. No, this was created because I wasn't included and welcome where you were in the first
in the
place.
first place.
You know what I mean? And it's just like the plot gets lost because people want to have arguments, um, and be in their feelings without recognizing the whole picture and
Mm-hmm.
speaking on, the whole picture. And it's really exhausting.
Yeah,
And so for anybody that's watching, if you're a believer, if you a saint, lift our girl Nicole and Barter Black, keep them in prayer and keep them covered because she's doing some good work in creating space and opportunity and visibility for Black business owners that if she wasn't doing this, some of us otherwise might not have in the way that it's been created and positioned, as a result of her vision and her obedience to her purpose assignment that she's been given and her commitment to continuing to show up every single day and pivot and tweak, and perfect and have the courage to ask for feedback and implement the feedback from the community, um, in a collaborative way so that her members of the platform, they feel a part of the journey and not just, oh, I'm paying my money every month and
right.
that's what it is. And so, every time I get an opportunity, I'm going to take a moment to give you your flowers, because I know firsthand that it's not easy. First of all, it's not easy building something out of nothing. Like, let's
Right.
start there. It's easy to go see what somebody else is doing, create a different flavor of it, figure out what makes you different, but the concept is already there, right? But to actually create something out of what was once just an idea in your mind, a God assignment like Noah in the ark, you know what I mean? Like, it's really hard to birth that thing. There is some serendipity that comes with it when you're moving in alignment with your purpose and what you were assigned to do.
Yeah.
But it is really hard. Sometimes you're competing with the other things that you want to do personally, like it had nothing to do with God. Like, I want to do this, right? And so there's that part of it. Then there's the other people's opinions because you've been given something so big that doesn't make sense to the human ear or eye in this season.
Yep.
But you just gotta forge through knowing what you've been told and what you've been given and the vision that you've been given. And it's just like, it's okay, just I get it, right? You don't get it, I gotta move on. I might have to leave you behind. I tell people when I in my master class and my clients, I said, listen, when I tell clients when they first start working with me, people have at this point people have three options. They can get on board, they can get out the way, or they can get bulldozed because you're going places. And it's no different, right? When you accept that assignment, it's go time. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And it's just like I don't have time to. And naysayers, I hear you, but you're not helping me in this moment, right? I got things to do, so I gotta put you on the shelf. I might spin the block if I have time, right? I
might.
certainly won't, but I hear you. But I got my eye on the prize, so I
Hmm.
just hope and pray that you just whatever you got a good thing going, and that you don't lose it, and that you hear more and more of this kind of support, and that you stay covered in what you're doing because you're doing something extremely incredible.
Thank you so much. I appreciate every time you talk, all the members, everyone, because this is it's new. It's something that people don't see all the time. It's one of those things that you have to, hear about and maybe jump on board or watch from the sidelines. But yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. I want to take a moment and if you're watching with us live, say hey, let us know where you're watching from in the comments. If you're catching the replay, type replay in the comments wherever you may be watching it, and I'll be sure to come back through and show you some love. Now, Nicole, I want to put some things to rest right here while I have you live right now. So,
Okay.
what are misconceptions that people continue to have about bartering in general and about Barter Black specifically that grinds your gears?
So the first thing that comes to mind is that people always say bartering is free. Bartering is not free because your time is not free, your resources are not
Mhm.
free. You offer a skill and an expertise that has value. And the way we operate, that value can help you get what you need. But one thing that just grinds my gears is when people look down on bartering, won't even do their research or kind of try to understand, but they will sit alone and still try to grow their business. They won't test out or try to learn more about the community. They would rather work alone and not grow than to actually join a community that actually helps them grow. So that
Mm,
right there, I'm just like, okay, but you're still a solopreneur. So it makes sense for you to kind of join a community that operates off of cooperative economics, right? Where you can actually try to build. But I see all the time one person actually, and I had to sit in this for about a week on TikTok actually. One person saw a video someone posted me, and she said, I really love that, it's Black woman owned, but she chose, um, what did she say? She chose capitalism over community. I was like, really? Like, if you would have took the time to learn more, it just may have changed the trajectory of your business, or
mhm.
may have built or created the community that you needed. But trust me, we still, like you said, we still get the no's, we still get the naysayers. Capitalism over community, that was just like, really? Like, come on now.
Well, I'll be right. Oh my goodness. I maybe I'll save this for a little bit later. Well, there's something I could add to that. I know a big part. So one that we're in a space of in time in our lives and just the world where it's like information idea. And I think that will always be
Right.
my kind of like moniker for Barter Black is like you think you know, but you really have no idea. And this is coming from somebody who's been rocking with Barter Black for I guess coming up on 2 years now, which is crazy to
Yeah.
me. That's wild. It's probably
Two
already
years
2
in
years.
what, 9 days, I think?
Oh
Nine,
my
8 or 9 days.
goodness. 2 years. But it's just there's that. And so like while I get it, right, and I can empathize because I'm busy like the next person, right? But don't knock it until you explore it.
Yeah.
and even try it,
At
right?
least give me that. At least give
Nicole's
me
not
that.
going to hold you hostage. I promise. What you see right now, this is Nicole. She is unchanging. Yes, she evolves, right, in great ways. What she is as cool, calm, and collected as they come. And I guarantee you that if you bet on her, she's going to rock with you, right? And she's going to support you to the best of her ability. I mean, and I say that as someone who has felt it, experienced it, and witnessed it, even if it wasn't pertaining to me, just people who have joined the community and helped to build the community that she has just so expertly curated over the last like several years. So that is a shameless plug because you don't know, right? Don't knock it until you explore and try it for sure.
Right.
Let's see. So I lost my spot. So I'm a founding member of Barter Black 2.0. And in fact, that is exactly how we ended up here tonight. You purchased my influencer marketing listing on the platform using Barter
Mhm.
Bucks, and here we are. So I want to do something that I don't normally do. I want to turn the tables for a
Oh,
second. Put your seatbelt on. Put your seatbelt on. I want to turn the tables for a second and give you an opportunity to ask questions that you may have always wondered about, but maybe not explored with members as you've been building a platform, moving at the speed of light almost, making changes, working with a development team, and just growing and scaling the platform in an amazing way, right? Watching members show up, engage, hosting the speed networking events, the monthly member meetings, the emails, keeping us all in the loop, the change. I forget what you call it, the new change or enhancements um site that you have so we can see like what's new in case we missed it. I mean, every month there's something new, like Nicole. I'm just like, how in the world does she do it? Right. So I know you have all of this stuff going on. And with that, I know there are things that you likely have always wanted to ask a member or members, and you've been curious about, but you've never had the opportunity. So I'm giving you 3 questions. Ask me anything.
I'm ready. So these questions I'm going to ask about your experience as well. Also,
Okay.
how Barter Black has shown up for you, the platform, and how also we can improve. So the
Okay.
first question is, in what ways has Barter Black been a part of your entrepreneur journey, and how have you used the platform to support or grow your business?
Okay, so Barter Black has been a part of my entrepreneurship journey. I think the thing that has really been telling and a testament for me is it challenged me to sell without expecting like US dollars in exchange. And for me, I'm like, I think I passed like a gauntlet test with that because selling is, I mean, you still have to sell something. I've heard somebody else say this too, like you still have to sell free. Just because it's free doesn't mean people want it, right? You still got to do like the advertising, marketing, song and dance to get people to like want the thing, right? And so to be able to create offerings on the platform, some that align with like my Danielle the Coach brand in a one-to-one manner and serve as kind of like a funnel into I'm passionate about. But then there's like, okay, here is a need and people want it and they're willing to spend good money for it, right? Barter bucks for it. So let me give the people what they want. And for me, it really helped to build my entrepreneurship muscle in a way where I was kind of getting fatigued in the marketplace and also tired of hearing myself saying the same thing over and over again, which is par for the course with any business. People keep coming back because you're consistent and they know where to go to get a particular thing or things, right? But for creatives, sometimes that can be exhausting and we get tired of it when it's par for the course. So as far as supporting my entrepreneurship journey, the first part of your question, like that has been the one thing that has been the most rewarding and I think refreshing, being on the platform, just challenging myself, one, to get out the pocket and create listings, because I sat in the corner for several months being a paid member without listings. I just wasn't sure how to make it work, right? But then also leveraging AI to kind of help curate my listings, and you would give, insight and tips and best practices on what how to formulate a solid listing that will likely convert. And so just going through the motions and tweaking it as I went, and finally feeling like, okay, I think this is good. I think this will stick. And actually, that influencer marketing offering, it probably was sold before I even put it up there, because it came at the request of another member who I guess kind of like saw me in the digital marketing space and was like, "Hey, would you consider doing this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let me think about it. I'll get back to you, right?" And then I realized I used to do these interviews just like this several years ago. I already had the blueprint. I already knew how to make it happen. I just needed to put up an offer and invite people into it in the name of praise. And so I was just like, I've really been overthinking life and business at this juncture. But I'm really, really, really grateful to have gone through that set of exchanges. And for it to become what it has. And if you go, shameless plug, if you go to Barter Black .io, you don't know me, they're not partial to me. It's like, hey, here's what I got going on. Here's the vantage point from where you look at it, and they'll audit my brand from their vantage point and giving me insight and recommendations based on their angle of branding. So from Funja with the brand to Amber with the sensory branding exercise, like that whole sensory brand audit, it has changed the game for me. Like if I'm showing up in any way, shape, or form, I'm going through the list, right? And that excites me because it allows me to think about marketing, branding, and advertising from a different lens, and then seeing people react to the things that I put in place because of that insight. It's like it's a game changer. My most three recent barters have been contracts. There's an amazing attorney that's on the platform, and to be able to get three contracts, which would have been, I think she might even have them listed at a Barter Black special rate, right? But even at that rate, that would have been like $4,500, and I paid like several $100s just in the Barter Black service fee for three fresh contracts that I now can give to clients with full confidence that I have a lawyer who has not something that I piecemealed together over the years and band-aided together, but now I can step out into the marketplace with even more confidence, knowing that I've had a reset and a refresh, and it didn't cost me a whole lot of money, outright. So that has just been like that in itself has been worth all the time, all the things. It's weight in barter bucks, if you will. It's weight in gold, as far as helping my business. But then also the thing about business too is connections in relationships. And so I feel like I've been able to do more business on the platform because of the networking opportunities that you and your team, that although it might not be tangible at the outset, like it absolutely helps to move the needle forward.
Thank you for that. It is so interesting when I hear our members talk about barter bucks, my hard earned barter bucks, because you just said you draw 4,500 barter bucks on contracts. I mean, so barter bucks are definitely valuable. And that's one thing that we want to get those who are not a part of the platform to understand. So, based on your experience as a founding member, What is one thing Barter Black is doing well, and what is one thing you believe we can do better to improve the member experience?
One thing that I think Barter Black does well, you continue to innovate. You continue to innovate. I don't know if I've ever told you this directly, but even how you market and advertise, I'm like, yo, I'm looking at Nicole. I'm not going hard enough. My God, every time I turn around, Nicole, and one event is done, here comes the next thing. And I was like, but that's how it's supposed to be. But even you have this one concept and you continue to innovate and find new creative, inviting ways to do the same way, but to reach broader audiences. And I think that is um admirable. And I think you and the team do that extremely well. I give you two things. Something else you do well is you sincerely ask for feedback, and you listen and implement and in record time, right? No, there's no expectation when it comes to um software development, right? Like, did you do everything? Like, it's just not reasonable or realistic. But I also think that you get reasonable and realistic feedback, and you're able to fuse it into the platform and prioritize it when and where possible. And I'll be honest, like, I'm a senior business analyst by trade. So tech the develop like tech development, but not being responsible for the development, but being able to test and use and see opportunities for improvement, that's my jam. And so to be able to see things and just offer like, hey, I think this might help, the user experience, and I just set it and forget it. And next thing I know, I'm in a room with Nicole. She was like, oh, Danielle, that thing that you submitted, we're getting ready to publish that tomorrow. And I'm like, first of all, I forgot about it. Second of all, that was like 2 weeks ago. Thank you. You know what I mean? I think you guys do like an excellent job of taking feedback, being open minded. You know what I mean? Because that's the thing. Because this is your baby, so you very well could take some things personally. But even if you do, you don't show that at all whatsoever. Um, and you actually we see changes in the platform, and improvements often. So I think you do that really well. And I think the other one was, what can you do better? What can you and Barter Black do better? Um,
And this is either tech, let you talk about, or member experience, however you want to phrase it.
yeah. Um, this is and this is hard. I think, and it's hard because you are very diligent about asking for feedback along the way. But then you also have spaces for us to give feedback, and I feel like I've been giving it. But let me see. Let me find something. Something that can be improved on. Um, I know something. So a way for members to engage in community outside of the customary events, so like the speed networking, the monthly member meetings, so like some kind of chat like thing, for us to connect. Because although I feel like when we come together for those, we come together, but then it's just like back into the black hole of our own lives and businesses. And so there's no real way to come together under the umbrella of Barter Black to communicate unless you're going to the events board, and that's just picking up information, right? Or unless you make these direct connections with people on social media or whatever. Um, to me, I think that's the only thing that might be missing, in the community. But I know, like, I think the Facebook page was going away or something. So we had something, but it was going away, something like that. But yeah,
Okay. So no, the Facebook group, we closed that. But thank you for that. I actually like that idea. So you already know what I'm gonna do. But anyway, um One of the things I realized as a business owner, because I feel like I want to give feedback to businesses a lot, but a lot of business owners don't know how to take feedback.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
trust me, I never get upset about the feedback because it only makes me better. Um, and I take it back to when I did my customer discovery and the members were telling me, well, look, I can help this person, but I don't want what they have when we had the direct exchange. If I never would have asked them those questions, we would not be here right now with
Mhm,
Barter
mhm.
Black. So your feedback gives me what I need to grow and scale. So
Mhm.
last question. What would you say to entrepreneurs who have been watching Barter Black from the sideline?
Here and there may be something that stops you in your tracks, and it's just like, oh my gosh, I didn't even think that this would be possible, or something that will be available on the platform. And so one of the things that I love that Nicole has done is she's reduced the barrier of understanding by allowing you can go to the platform right now and and see the listings that are available. You don't even have to be a paid member to see the listings, but you can click through and see what's available to you and explore it that way. Um, it's not a sizable investment month to month, but the gains that you can get, the insight that you can get, the hands-on help and support in your business, the done for you services, which I know Nicole has been intentional about pushing, um, more and more, inviting new members to join, but to offer done for you services. Like when somebody can come into your business and do something for you, come into your world and just do the thing for you, it's a relief. Now, what I also want you to know is somebody who's a member on the platform, an entrepreneur, and sensitive about her ish, trust is a thing. I get that. It's not lost on me, right? And I can tell you firsthand, I have cyber stalk people. You know, you get their website, all of the things, not just their Barter Black listing, but you can go to their website. You can do your research on them to kind of see like how are they showing up outside of Barter Black, and make the most informed decision before you spend your Barter bucks, right? So there's still the same way that you would the same hesitancy and intentionality that you would put into spending US dollars, right? Or whatever currency that you spend, you put that same energy into making the informed decision, um, on the platform. And those that are members and have listings, we have a responsibility to make sure that we position them in a way that makes them enticing for somebody to want to actually spend their barter bucks. Like it's still the same type of mindset that needs to go into the exchange. Like there's no watering it down just because it's on the Barter Black platform. Like Nicole said earlier, like it's a one to one like pricing um setup, if you will, right? So if something costs $1,500 in real money, you have an offer that costs $1,500 and you offer it on the platform, it should cost 1,500 barter bucks. So you're still getting the value, right? And so everything else has to go into it in the same way, the due diligence. And if you see somebody that has a listing that doesn't look like they put a whole lot of thought and energy, that's data for you. You know what I mean? Like nobody's forcing you to go buy the thing, but continue to search and find what may be out there. And I'll tell you, many of the offerings that I've ended up purchasing were not offerings that I was particularly looking for. I had barter bucks to spend, and I wanted to, get active on the platform. People would post their offerings. I'm like, oh, this looks interesting. I think I want this. I think I need this. And what do you know? There's another transaction on the platform, right? So there's that. And just something to, I see somebody on Instagram, Nicole, Rocky Era 2017. He says, I'm a simple truck driver. I'm lost. So, Rocky, I don't know if you're still online with us, but I'm not sure what part you're lost about. But I can understand how it can be, it seemed like information overload trying to understand how this thing works. But I'll say this, yes, you exchange barter books on the platform. Does it cost money, US dollars, to exchange on the platform? Yes, it's in the form of a service fee. And so Nicole may get into it, but I think sometimes hearing the same thing a couple different ways from a couple different places might help it stick, right? So if I have an offer for 1,000 barter bucks and I am a gold member, I think the service fee is 8% versus being a silver member and the service fee is at 12%. Okay. So if let's say you're a gold member like I am, and I have an offer for $1,000 or 1,000 barter bucks, right? You need at least 1,000 barter bucks in your Barter Black wallet, right? You would spend 1,000 barter bucks, but it would cost you um what is that? $80?
$80.
No, I got a hard time
$80.
doing math. I'm getting ready to say $80. It would cost you $80, like 80 US dollars, right? So you pay a service fee on top of your barter bucks in order to make these exchanges. Um, Once you get a handle on that, it's it's just it really gets to be simple. It really gets to be easy. And when you see the savings that you get in making these types of transactions, you know what I mean? It's just like a no-brainer. And the one other thing that I will add, Nicole, I know I kind of been going and going and going, but I need the people to know, right? The other thing is I think that there may be a misnomer about, and maybe not just Barter Black, but platforms like that. Well, there is no platform like this as far as I'm concerned, but like that offerings on the platform might be less than because it's not real currency, US dollars being exchanged. Couldn't come to find out, maybe like a week or so after he was on the platform, that person ended up spending 1,500 barter bucks with him for his offering. And that's kind of like probably a record because to be able to come on the platform and have an offer that is over 500 barter bucks, like back when we first started, nobody had more than 500 barter bucks. You know what I mean? So we had to do some transacting in order to build our Barter Black wallets over time. So to be able to come onto the platform and have an offer for 1,500 barter bucks and for it to sell in record time, like that's just so amazing. And this particular person has been instrumental in helping me understand Facebook ads. This is before Barter Black was even, on the map. You know what I mean? And so like world class experts that just like, yep, I can come, I can make it work, I can make something shake over here too, right? You might have it might be an introductory offer, and then anything outside of that may be off the Barter Black platform. But you're like the caliber of membership and expertise, and just the heart posture of people that are on the platform. Like Nicole has a way of attracting us because I'm a part of that group in a way that is really, really unique and refreshing. So I say all of that to say, if you are in the least bit interested, go to the platform and explore. I'll drop, and yes, I'm dropping my influencer link here. I'll put it out. Can I copy this? Let me see. Shoot. I gotta get it for y'all again because let me see. Wait, let me grab it, y'all. Hold on. I'm dropping my influencer link. It's not working for me, of course, because we talked about the technology, right, Nicole? We talked about that beforehand. Let me try this. There we go. So I'm dropping my influencer link, and you can head to Barter Black. And peruse, scroll, check it out, all the things. And then if you happen to decide to join, if you use my influencer link, we both get an extra 100 barter bucks. So it pays to use my link instead of just going and onboarding as a non-referred new member. Okay, Nicole, I'm off my soapbox.
I absolutely love it. Thank you so much for answering my questions. Thank you for giving me the space to ask you questions. I think one of the things that you drew light to was the barter bucks and the value of the barter bucks, because you're right. In the beginning, people were operating with 500 barter bucks and less. It was not. But now, as Dr. Shatia says, she barter bucks pimping and she got them all. She could buy whatever she want. But it comes and it shows you just how much the members are offering their products and services and helping each other out for them to have that many barter bucks to even spend on the things that they need in their business. So thanks
Mhm.
for including this segment onto onto the live.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We got some comments. Let's see. Mooney Child Crab 82 said capitalism over community is wild.
Had me in
It
my
is.
feelings because I'm not a millionaire yet. Wait a minute.
It's wild. It is wild. Let's see. Gina Dominique, so great to see you, Nicole, and to hear more about this innovative system. How does the platform assign Barter Black's value?
All righty. Hi, Gina. And Gina is at Blacks at Microsoft in New York. So the platform assigns value. I think Danielle just mentioned that if you charge 1,500 off the platform, you're going to charge 1,500 barter bucks on the platform. 100 off the platform, 100 on the platform. So it's a 1-to-1.
Mhm. I'll put the link back up in case you're interested. So we're not done, but I'll put that up just for a moment. So when it comes to no, you have a Barter Black pop-up event that's
Yes.
coming up. Tell us everything that we need to know and everything about it that we wouldn't even think to ask.
Well, first I want to say the members who've joined the Barter Black platform, um, thank you for taking a chance. I feel the same way for the pop up. It's like a bartering pop up. Wait a minute. What do you mean? I'm not accepting cash. I'm accepting barter bucks. So we have some amazing vendors. Our pop up is on August 22nd in Prince George's County, Maryland, at the PG Sports and Learning Complex from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And we are, I, I think now maybe there are 8 to 10 vendors. Um, and this pop up was created because we realized that people sometimes have to see things in action instead of online. So we wanted to bring Barter Black virtually in person so you can come in, load your barter bucks on your wallet. There is a service fee just like on the platform, and you can shop with the vendors. The best part of this is the vendors are accepting barter bucks for their products and services. And not only are you getting products and services for your business, but you're also helping the vendors earn barter bucks. And it's so interesting because I feel like every vendor, it's so much easier for our members to earn barter bucks in a day than it is on the platform. It's like, okay, I'm walking away with some barter bucks I can go spend on the platform. So if you are interested, go to barterblackpopup.com. We have some amazing vendors. Most of them are service-based vendors, and that's what you'll see at the pop-up. But we wanted to create a space where you see actually what Barter Black is all about, but in real time.
I love that. And you can go to barterblackpopup.com as shown below for more information and to register as an attendee. Is closed for vendors, right?
Yes, yeah, there is a wait list because unfortunately, the last time, things happen. So if somehow or for some reason a vendor cannot make it, if you want to apply to be a vendor, apply and join the wait list.
Got you, got you. But everybody that attend, even attendees, they need to register
Yes.
to attend and
Yeah,
go to Barter.
register. Yeah, they have to register because that's where your pop-up wallet is going to be. So you're able to load your wallet, your barter bucks there, but then you're able to pay the vendors through your dashboard when you register at barterblackpopup.com.
Everything is digital, and you can only pay for whatever products or services that are being exchanged that day through with
Barter
barter
Blacks.
bucks.
Yep.
Okay.
Exciting. I'm excited about the vendors. So please just go to the website and see the vendors. You also are able to see what they're offering. You are going to be surprised.
Gina Dominique said, "Thank you,
No
Nicole."
problem. Thanks for coming.
I do. So I know in watching you move and shake on social media, and I think you do share some things with the members when we have member meetings. Um, you have had an experience when it comes to creating IP. Like I mentioned earlier,
Mm,
you are a patent holder, which is no small feat at all whatsoever. You own several trademarks, but you've also unfortunately been on the receiving end of trademark infringement.
mm.
And you've had to divert resources, your time, your energy, all of the things to fight for the brand that you've worked so hard to create and the lane in the marketplace that you now own, right, and dominate. And so, like I mentioned earlier, it's easy to go and see what somebody else is doing and
Yeah.
either try to do the very same thing or call yourself differentiating to do a slightly different flavor of that. There's ways to go about doing it that do not infringe on somebody else's trademark, somebody
Yeah.
else's intellectual property, especially when they've gone through the process and done their due diligence of filing with U.S. Patent and Trademark Office to do what they have to do in order to protect their IP. So, what was that like having to navigate the trademark infringement? And what like lessons learned and resources might you offer to other, entrepreneurs or IP owners when it comes to protecting like our goods?
Yeah, I get emotional every time I talk about this, honestly, because it was the most stressful time I feel like in this business setting with Barter Black. You know, we get the no's, we get the, oh, you can't do this, you don't win this grant, blah, blah, blah. But protecting what you own, baby, the stress, the
Mhm.
money, the time, just everything. It was just a lot. One thing that I would say, the best thing that I did, I told you Barter Black was birthed in the pandemic. Before I even mentioned the name to anybody, I filed for the trademark. That's what
Mhm.
protected me. Before
Mhm.
it gave me anything, um, I filed for the trademark. And that was in 2020. We didn't launch until 2022, and we have been growing and building and creating that digital footprint. Um, and I feel like now every time someone mentions bartering on any social media platform, they're mentioning Barter Black, which I am
Mhm.
so thankful for. Um, and you mentioned Liska, who is the trademark attorney on the platform. She has she has been a pivotal part of this journey, and it's so interesting because, like I said earlier, I feel like things happen for a reason.
Mhm.
She actually joined the platform right before this trademark infringement thing happened. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Um, but they fought us for months. It's like clear as day. They fought us for months. They ended up changing their name, which was good because they knew they were wrong. But it's taught me and I feel like bartering is a thing now. Everyone wants to barter, and it's coming up, and people want to create their own platforms and communities and all of those things. So
Mhm.
I've seen a few other things, but I feel like this is not the end of it. So what
Mhm.
I would say, one thing that Liska mentioned to me when we were going through all of this is that if you are married to the name, you trademark it. But another thing is that if you trademark a name, you have to protect it. No matter the cost, no matter the stress, no matter the anything, you have to um, put out to protect it.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say definitely a lot of resources went to protecting the trademark for Barter Black. So, which is which is like, oh my goodness, I don't need this right now, right?
Right. Right.
Um, but it turned out for the best. We ended up actually filing a few more trademarks. I actually was talking about this earlier today. I think it's 4 more trademarks to kind of wrap around Barter Black to kind of protect us a little bit more. Because clearly this may be an issue with, the buzzword of bartering coming around and
Mm-hmm.
being in Black communities. But I would definitely say if you're married to it, trademark it. If you trademark it, you have to protect it at all costs. Is there's no maybe they'll go away, because they look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you protect it?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody tried to infringe. What did you do about it? And I will also say that digital footprint is so important. And I would even say to you, Danielle, thank you, and everyone who's ever mentioned Barter Black, because a lot of those things showed up in our trademark applications and everything like that. It's like we own this. People are talking about us. So that goes into showing, the USPTO and also anyone who's infringing that no, this really is a brand that people recognize.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about your friends' brands and all those things. And I would say too, one thing. This is so random, but I would say if you know your friend has a trademark or the business, put that R behind their name, please. Because and I know it's not on purpose or anything
Mm-hmm.
like that, but because I've gone through the stress of saying no, this is mine.
Mm-hmm.
I want the R behind my name. Do me that favor.
Put some respect on
Put
it.
some
That's
respect
it.
on my name. I fought far hard for this name. Literally.
Oh my gosh. It's such a, I can imagine it being such a pain in the behind, but like you have the full breadth of like the not only just the creation, the innovation, but then also doing the due diligence on the back end. And I think when you do go to the lengths of filing for, your mark, your trademark, your service marks, all of those things, like it's an exercise of belief. Like I
Yeah.
wouldn't go through these changes and jump through these hoops and pay all this money to make sure it's done right if this wasn't something I believe in. So I like what you pull from Liska saying like if you're married to it,
Yeah.
it's worth trademarking. I know that there some time ago you mentioned like an understanding that like we all start at different parts of the journey, right? For some people, paying an attorney what they charge, right, and rightfully so, gives you peace of mind at night, might not be viable for some entrepreneur out there, or some innovator out there, or some founder out there right now. There was a resource that you told the community about some time
Hmm.
ago. I think it was some group at Howard that does some kind of like IP support. If it's still a thing, can you share that? 'Cause then that might help
Absolutely.
tonight.
Absolutely. So, if you go to USPTO, and I do not know where, but it is there. Different colleges around the country has IP clinics. So you can do copywriting, you can do trademarks, you can do patents. I actually went through Howard University to get our patent. And actually, it was the first design patent that they actually were granted through
Wow.
Barter Black. Um, but that is a resource. The only thing that I had to pay was the USPTO fees. So the law students would, we had a call. They would tell me what they thought. They would give me feedback, but they had their professor overlooking everything that they did, approving the application, all of those things, um, which took a lot of load and saved me a lot of money because filing for a patent, the fees are just insane. But you can do it
Mhm.
for copyrights, trademarks, um, or patents. And I would just find I don't know if it has to be where you live, because I wanted it to be a HBCU that did
Mm-hmm.
that. So, but you choose a clinic, apply, and they'll get to you. But you want to do it when school is in session.
Mm-hmm. I see over on Instagram, Accurate Books VA said Liska is amazing. This is a Liska love fest over here. Where is Liska?
Look now, she saving business names all over the United States.
Yes, 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 yes. So listen, bartering is not only back, like it is here to stay. I think whatever Nicole touches turns to gold. I don't care what she has to say. I know it ain't always easy, but listen, what if Nicole's name is on it, I know it's going to be world class, it's going to be right, it's going to be proper, and it's going to be game changing. Nicole, what is next for Barter Black?
Oh my goodness, I can't even tell you. But if you are coming to the Barter Black pop up, you will know first.
Oh,
Can't
okay,
tell you.
okay, a little incentive.
But there's so many things coming from Barter Black. We want to make sure that we're building upon partnerships to bring on more entrepreneurs. We want to become the number one resource for Black entrepreneurship. I know there's a lot of communities pulling for your membership and your attention to be a part of, but we're actually building Barter Black so you can actually grow. We don't want you to sit there and learn everything or do everything. There is a
Yeah,
team that you deserve and need, and they're on the Barter Black platform. Definitely go to our marketplace, see what everyone is offering. But I cannot wait to
mhm.
share with you at the pop up what is coming next.
That's what I'm saying. I told y'all, Nicole is always, it's always on
It's
every,
always
it's
something.
always, but always good stuff though, right? It's always, Nicole, we didn't talk about the app. Barter Black has an app that has been like, I went and approved something from my bed on my phone last night. Otherwise, I would have had to log onto my computer and go into the browser. But the app has been game changing. And everything that you can do on the browser, from the browser, you can do on the app. And where can people find the app, Nicole?
The app is on the App Store and the Google Play Store. And it's one of those things, of course, we launched it in February during our whole campaign. But one of the things I wanted to do was make it more accessible, make it so you get those notifications because those emails sometimes do not be doing what they're supposed to do. But the app, and if you are already a member, please download the app. It's so much easier, and you get real time, notifications just like any other app of what's going on. So Google Play and App Store, we are there.
Yes. One more question. How do you infuse fun into your business? It like I know it's a lot of work, but you have a way of making it look enjoyable on your end. How do you do that?
Well, thanks for saying that. I think because I really enjoy it. I mean, I am a non-technical founder. So I don't have the tech background. So I depend highly on my tech team, which interestingly, the person who started working on Barter Black in 2020 is the same person, and he has evolved into his own tech business because it was just me and him in the beginning. But now he has people under him that I work with. But I really enjoy Barter Black. I
Mhm.
really enjoy the business owners and learning about their businesses and trying to figure out how I can help. Um, it's one of those things like if you do what you love, it doesn't feel like work. Like
Mhm.
it has never felt like work to me, like because I really enjoy doing it. So everything
Mhm.
that we do or come up with, it's just exciting for me to do.
I love that. Is there anything that you want to share with viewers, whether they're here live with us or catching the replay, that we may not have covered or may not have gone in depth about?
Just that, is it next week? Lord. Next week, we are celebrating 2 years of Barter Bucks. So that's 2 years since we relaunched on August 12th. I'm so excited about this journey. So we are doing a bunch of things to kind of bring you into the Barter Black community. One of the things that we have is that we're sponsoring 500 Barter Bucks on the Barter Black platform for anyone who posts the videos, introducing their business to us and telling us what they would use the 500 Barter Bucks on. So go to the marketplace on the platform, see what there is to offer, post a video, tell us what you would use the Barter Bucks on, and you may win 500 Barter Bucks in your business. You saw tonight, or you heard tonight, how valuable Barter Bucks are. So
Part of us can change your life. I'm here to tell you. Part of us can change your life, Nicole. This has been nothing short of amazing. I just enjoy being in your energy, being in your orbit, and being able to be on the receiving end of like your grand creation. And I'll be honest, when I joined Barter Black, I think I joined it. I think you and I met just in these social media streets. Like I think we were connected on social media, and then we
mhm,
both were speakers at
at the
Black
Black
Street.
Street. Yep.
We met. It's like, oh, I can put a real person with this this entity, this profile that I've seen on these platforms, right? Nice to meet you in person. And so we met in person at Black Street 2 years ago when we both
Yep.
spoke.
No, it
spoke
was
with,
more than 2 years, maybe three.
was it?
Because barter Barter Bucks is two. So was it? I don't
May-
know.
Maybe it's just not child. It's been a
Maybe
couple
it
years.
was 2 years ago.
I think so. But anyway, it's been a couple years now. But we met online first, right? We were
Right,
connected
right.
online just in passing, and then we met in person. And then just hearing her talk about Barter Black, it was one of those things. This is just full transparency. I really didn't know. It sounded a little
Hmm.
interesting. And I guess maybe one day I had time and looked into it. And it was more so one of those things where I see another sister building something, creating something. How can I support? And not only is she building something, but it is something that I think that I can actually like use. It's one
Mm,
thing when people make purchases or they support out of
just
sympathy,
to support.
right?
Yeah.
But I think it's a different flex when, yeah, I want to support you, but I am also your ideal client or member.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And so you had something that I could actually potentially benefit from. I just had to work out those kinks being an early adopter to figure it out. And I'm glad I did get on the train when I did because that just allowed me to develop some more momentum and already be like a sitting duck when newer members would join the platform over time and all of the things and then the coming together at the speed networking and the monthly member meetings. It was like compounding effect,
Hmm.
and a perk of being a founding member. But I looked into it because I'm like, let me see what Nicole's talking about. Like I met her, she's a vibe, she's cool, she's down to earth. Let me see how I can support, and it's just kind of like morphed into this thing. And I get that sometimes people people give you their yes for different reasons, right?
Right,
But I guarantee you, if you don't have it- what it takes to maintain the connection, like you'll lose it. And
right.
so Nicole and Barter Black have sticking power and staying power. And if you show up in the community
Yeah.
when there are opportunities, I think that's a cheat code to navigating the Barter Black space and sphere and also changing not only your business but those of others who may come in contact with your brand as well.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna get off my water black soapbox for the night because as you can see, I could go. I got I got things to say. Nicole, you have been nothing short of amazing. Head to um I want to say barterblack.io. You can, but it's better for you to go to the link that I have dropped a couple of times here,
Yes.
my influencer link for the platform. If you decide to join, the platform using my link, we both get an extra 100 barter bucks. So there is perks to using my influencer link, but have at it. I would rather have you on the platform than not at all. You do not have to pay any money to explore the platform, see the listings, and all of those good things. So take advantage of the opportunity to peruse the site and then make the most informed decision and just to join. There is a wealth of support at your fingertips on the other side as a member. So just trust the process and nothing beats a failure but a try. This has been another episode of Ask Me How I Know with Danielle, the coach. Bartering is back and it's here to stay. Nicole, where can people find you on social media?
Same as our website, barterblack.io, website and social media.
Barterblack.io. And last but not least, if you are in a space where you are kind of like feeling the squeeze with your 9 to 5, you're feeling the tug, you're feeling that pull, you're being called to do something else, or maybe you kind of hear the saxophones, they're getting louder and louder, and you want to get ahead of maybe the next round of layoffs or whatever changes may be on the horizon in your well-paying career. I invite you to grab a copy of my book, The Six Figure Quitter. I'll drop the link here in 1 second. It's the sixfigurequitter.com. It's the entrepreneur's guide to transitioning out of your 9 to 5 without regret. Grab a copy at that link and I will send it straight to you. Y'all have an amazing night. If you catch the replay, do me a favor and drop replay in the comments. I'll come back and show you some love. Check out Barter Black, and I'll see you on the other side as a member.